This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Lechtei Musar podcast. We continue with Pirkei Avos, Parak Aleph, Mishnah Aleph. We are up to the end of the Mishnah. Hamidu, Tamidim Harbe, also Zaglatar. The last two elements of the Mishnah, the last two things that were said by Anshe Knesset Zaglatar in this Mishnah. And what were they? Hamidu, Tamidim Harbe, also Zaglatar. Which literally means develop many students and make a fence, a siyag, is a fence around the Torah. We spoke in the first year, we asked, not everyone is Zeicha to Tamidim, not everyone is a Rebbe, not everyone is a Rav or a Sheshiva or Manal. So, where are you getting the Tamidim? Hamidu Tamidim Harbe, it's a Mishnah. A lot of times get excited, a Psak Halach, we say it's straight out in Shulchan Aruch. Here it's a straight out Mishnah, the Hamidu Tamidim Harbe. If this is the mandate, this is the counsel, the advice of Anshe Knesset HaGedolah, that we're supposed to be Maimed Tamidim Harbe, we are supposed to create and develop many students, but if we're not in that position, how is it possible to develop those Tamidim? It's a great question, it's a simple question, and Shlomo Volba tells us the following incredible insight, beautiful story. This is the art scroll, so it's probably not from Shlomo Volba himself. A lot of things are not directly from him, it's from art scroll, but whoever it is, it's in the Sefer, so we'll call it from the Shlomo Volba Sefer. I'm going to read you the following story. The story is related of a Jew in Haifa. Again, we're talking about how is it possible to be Maimed Tamidim Harbe if not everyone is in a position of being Maimed Tamidim Harbe. A story that will blow your mind. A Jew in Haifa, a Yid, passed by a billboard and instinctively turned his head so as not to behold an indecent picture. He then quickly made his way into the nearby Beis Medrash. This is a Yid, he's walking, he's going by, and there was a big billboard, and he turned his head away, and next stop was a Beis Medrash. A non-religious fellow Jew beheld this sight and was stunned by the man's reflex reaction. How could it be that I live for staring at these indecent sights, and here's someone who has no interest in them at all? It must be that he gives even greater pleasure, and he lives for even greater pleasure than staring at the billboard, he thought. He followed the man into the Beis Medrash, a move that turned out to be the first step in the process of turning around his life and becoming religious. No words for this Maisa. Here is a man, a Yid, walking down the street in Haifa, sees a billboard, doesn't see anyone looking, observing, puts his head down because he knows there's an Eibishter, keeps on walking, goes to the Beis Medrash, and all of that inspires a non-religious Yid to follow him into the Beis Medrash, and that was the birth. That was the spark, the Nitzis HaKedusha, that brought Doirei Doiris of Yidden, of from Yidden. So we go back to the question, how could it be that Pirkei Avos, that the mission is telling us V'hamidu Tamidim Harbe, if we're not a Rebbe or a Sheshiva, a Murda Asra? How could it be? I don't have Tamidim. The answer is that we're all that Yidden Haifa. We're all that men walking down the street. We all walk down streets. We all go to grocery stores. We all fly on planes. We always have opportunity, whether people are looking or not. But bin Adam Lamakum, when we do the right thing, just at the right moment, we never know what can come about from Mesiras Nefesh, from commitment, from determination, from realizing that we're here for an elevated, higher purpose. And what that can spark and turn into the fire of inspiring so strongly and bringing another Yid back to his Creator. So we don't need Talmidim in a classroom or in a shul. We need to be Rabbeim, Rabbanim to ourselves, true to our identity. And with that, when we're walking as the Kiddush Hashem, when we're walking as Va'amech Kulam Tzadikim, every single one of us, every single one of you, and we carry and possess so strongly, with such certainty, that we have the power to spread fire, to spread light, to be a light for others. That's how we have Hamidu Tamidim Harbe. To produce, to develop many, many students. It is not out of any of our reach, any of our bandwidth, when we possess and hold on to this realization strongly and at all times. Moving on, V'asu siyag l'Torah. The Mishnah says the last of the three things, of the three mandates, and make a fence around the Torah. Now, making a fence around the Torah is typically talking about Gzeiros, the Rabbanons, Takanos. And of course, this is extremely important for all of us on a personal level. It's not all black and white. And a lot of times, we have to take extra precaution, extra vigilance, put up those poles with the caution tape. And even though it doesn't say in the Torah, I can't go here, I can't go to the grocery store, I can't go on an airplane. It doesn't say black and white. But we have to set up those gedarim, those siyags, those boundaries for ourselves in order to keep sacred, to keep ourselves sacred, to keep ourselves connected to the Eibishter, to remain pure, to remain holy, to stay away from Averis, V'asu siyag l'Torah. Make a fence around the Torah.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.